morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is Espionage Tech. Today I just wanted to make a video touching on the topic of core parking for 9950 X3D CPUs in Battlefield 6. I've been seeing a lot of videos regarding config files and different fixes and things of that sort, and a lot of them are missing something very important. So I just wanted to make a video and point this out to make sure everyone actually has the correct config file and settings, because I see a lot of config files and people skip out on one specific command, and if you don't put that one command in, then the rest of the stuff you enter means absolutely nothing. So I'm going to go over this. As you can see, I play Battlefield through the EA app on PC, so I have this open prior. So essentially, for the config file, right, what you want to do is you essentially are going to have to create a config file for Battlefield. So how you do that is you can click here, view properties, open folder. This is the game install folder. If you look here, there's all the usual files, but then you can also see here at the bottom there's this user.cfg file that I've dragged and copied to the folder. Okay, now as you can see, I have a user.cfg file here. So this is the config file. I created this myself. And these are all of my commands. Some of these are GPU related, like this ComputeQueueDXDiagDriver. Those are GPU related, but they do give you better performance by enabling those. But as far as all of this processor count and all of this stuff, this is specifically regarding your CPU. Now, a lot of people have all of these others, like the Thread.Job.Priority, minimum unused processor count, minimum free processor count, max processor count, thread processor count. Now for 9950 X3D, it's a 16-core CPU with 32 threads. So you're going to set this to 8, 8, set that to 0 and 0, and you're going to set that. And then here you want to set this to 16. This is telling the game you have 16 cores fully, but you're only using 8. And this is making sure here by putting 8, 8, and 0, 0 that those 8 cores are fully utilized at all times. It's never using anything free. It's going to use those full 8 cores. It's not going to touch the other 16, right? Now, all of these are correct. Most people do have these, but the most important one in here is this. I'm going to highlight it. If you do not enter this command, none of this other stuff matters for the CPU. I'm going to repeat this again. If you do not enter this command, RenderDevice.UseReservedJobThreads, and set that to 0, then none of these other changes mean a thing. Because as it reads, you see it says use reserved job threads, right? So if you don't set this command, then the game engine is going to override any of these other commands as far as your processor count, and it's going to do what it says and use the reserved job threads. So you have to enter this to disable that, to stop it from using what's automatically been assigned by the game and the engine, and then you enter these, right? So this is very important, but again, none of this takes effect without entering this. So make sure you enter RenderDevice.UseReservedJobThreads and set that to 0. This is the most important command in the config file. You should actually put this in first before you put in the rest of these, so that you can visually see that this has been entered, and now, okay, now it will do what I want it to do. Because until you enter this, it's going to do as it says and use the reserved job threads. So after you create the config file, all you would do is you would save it, and then you drag this over here into your game install folder. Now, I'm going to actually show you too. I'm going to open Ryzen Master. Just gonna X this out for a second. I'll show you Ryzen Master. Show you that my core parking is set up correctly and everything's working fine. As you can see here, cores are parking You can clearly see my cores are parking, right? And I'm overclocked and everything, right? Now, I'm gonna exit this out and I'm just gonna open Battlefield 6. So now I'm going to launch the game and I'm going to actually show you where there are 8 active cores for the game and the core parking is actually working. Now this is the common misconception that people have too. Just because core parking is working, that doesn't automatically mean that when your game is running, all of the other cores are automatically parking, because you do still have background processes, or you may have apps open in the background, anything. And in that case, those other cores will pop on and off to take care of that other stuff, because your game is occupying the full 8 on the first CCD. So if that does happen here or there, where the other CCD activates here or there for other tasks, that's fine, as long as the game stays on those 8 cores. So I'm just gonna load in here and I'm gonna actually go into a match so that it's fully active. And then I'm going to show you, I'm gonna use Hardware Info 64 to show you where there's probably gonna be between 8 to 10 cores, but you'll see where the 8 cores are fully being utilized for the game, and then there maybe be a core or 2 in the background that are processing, you know, other stuff. So I'll just use that to show you in a second if it ever wants to connect to online services here. Huh, 2.5 gig Ethernet now doesn't want to work. And just for reference, I'll also show you my game bar, where you can see here that I also have it selected. Remember, this is a game in the game bar, have game mode turned on, and also be using the balanced power plan. And in my BIOS settings, I have CPPC set to driver. These are all the things that I have. I'm on the latest chipset drivers, latest BIOS for my board and all of that. This isn't opening currently, so I'm just going to try restarting the app. But the most important aspect of this video is the config file that I showed you and the RenderDevice.UseReservedJobThreads, and set that to 0. That is literally the most important command. But I just want to go into this to actually show you guys that the core parking has worked, and actually show you proof versus just posting stuff. So, okay, Q, that's better than nothing. Yep, there we go. It's gonna say I have 2.5 gig Ethernet, so we should be in there. Okay. Looks like Battlefield is definitely having some issues. Okay, so I'll just use the firing range to show you. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull this up, hardware info, right? Close all that extra stuff out, boom. I'm gonna pull this here. Now you see active core count is hovering around 5, right? Now we're gonna go into the game. Right? Now I'm going to switch this to borderless window for a second. This is the best example I can get because the servers are acting up right now. So this is just to show you guys. I'm going to go in here. Bam. Right? Now, I'm going to pull this up. And now I'm going to go back into the game, right? See, yeah, this is just in the shooting range. It's only using 5 cores in here. Now, if I can actually get into a match, I would be able to show you. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Now, if you look, boom, you see now these cores are instantly going up, right? Now we're at 9.4, 8.4. We were just at 5, 7.8, 8. Now you see exactly what I'm saying? It's hovering right at 8 cores. We're in the game. I'm just gonna spawn anywhere. But, okay, we're in the game, boom. Now you see we got 9 cores active, right? So that's the 8 cores for the game, maybe a core or 2 on the other CCD because I do have this running. And then I also have some other programs like Afterburner and stuff running in the background. But you can literally look here and you see it's hovering right at 9 cores. But as I said, that's the 8 cores for the game being used on the game, and then there's a core or 2 in the background for obviously hardware info 64 and background processes and MSI Afterburner, things of that sort. But this is literally locking it. And then I'm also going to pull up Afterburner, and then I'll show you that as well. So now I'm just going to open Afterburner. And sorry for the long video and using my phone, but I just wanted to get this information out and actually show proof, because a lot of people are posting stuff, but I don't see them going in game showing it off. So I just wanted to make sure I do this so everyone gets a full understanding. And I'm running a 9950 X3D here with 7900 XTX, 420 millimeter 420 millimeter AIO, Corsair Titan 420 screen on there. So now if I can just get my Afterburner to pop up. Battlefield doesn't like to let the overlay show for some reason. And I'm kind of ready to end the video. But I mean, my point has been proven kind of with the whole hardware info. As I said, you can see if there's 8 cores active. I kind of just wanted to use this to show my actual frequencies. I'll try it one more time. But yeah, sometimes Afterburner doesn't like overlays and things of that sort. Excuse me, Battlefield doesn't like overlays like Afterburner and things of that sort. I mean, either way, you can see this is working. And yeah. So that's the most important thing. Doesn't look like my overlay really wants to show right now. And that's fine if it doesn't. But I was able to show you that. At least you guys can see what cores and things of that sort. Try one more time, see if I can get Afterburner to work, just because I do actually want to show this. Sorry for the 15-minute video, but I mean, 15 minutes is better than getting wrong information, right? And in all honesty, the information you need was more towards the beginning of the video. This is just me actually showing the proof. But I mean, if you want to take those fixes and go apply them yourself, you will literally see the results immediately. But yeah, for some reason this is not working right now, and it normally does, so. But, okay, whatever. What I will do is, I'm just gonna pull it up one more time. So this is the config file that you need to have. I'll just let this hover for a second. You can pause it if you need to. And I'm gonna highlight this. This is the most important. Before you put those other CPU commands in, please make sure you add this. This is the most important. RenderDevice.UseReservedJobThreads, and set that to 0. I hope this helps everyone. Try this out. Let me know if it works for you. And happy gaming to everyone. Yeah, MSI overlay is not working right now, but like I said, that should be it, and hopefully this fix helps a lot of people. Happy gaming, guys.